Fridays, you'll catch all three of us together and you'll hear funny comedy and edutainment and intelligent conversations, or you'll just hear all three of us
Christians talking about moral values.
Either way, you're going to want to tune in 9 to 11 on Fridays.
The Canceled Show.
If you're expecting 4 white boys, then you're wrong. What we do have is 4 dad bods. We say what you're thinking without the urges. Tune in every Friday from 9 to 11. It's okay if you're a watcher. We won't judge. Yes, I like being watched on YouTube.
I love the intro. Yes, let's do an intro. We live? What is up, everybody? And this is your boy Manny.
And I'm Rashad Dyson.
And I'm G. Chavez.
Today we have a special guest.
That's right. The man.
The myth.
The myth.
Some say the legend.
They all say the legend.
I'm not going to stop you. Keep going, keep
like
going.
a-
Yeah, more. I like
Legendary actor, stuntman, rapper?
it. Nah. I don't even rap president. I don't even rap president.
Bartender, comedian.
This dude has a long list. Criminal.
You know,
Fair enough.
Chad ThunderCock.
Look him up. He's on Pornhub.
Oh, that's right. That's when Mrs. Krabappel gave you that name, huh?
He's Bible. What is that from? Simpsons. Bro,
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Oh,
No way, really?
Yeah, my mom was super Christian.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she thought The Simpsons were the devil.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, how'd that work out for
And
her?
then you watch it and you're just like, it's Nostradamus, man. They predict everything. Like,
Oh, yeah, they
saying.
predict every
It's
fucking
stupid
thing.
scary.
Yeah.
Stupid scary.
Simpsons did it. They did a lot of shit. But anyway, welcome everyone to the Council Show. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gary on the ones and twos.
Big
Appreciate you, Big Gary.
It's Gary.
Shout out to Mrs. Chad. I'm not gonna miss you. I'm not gonna mention you, but I am gonna mention you. Shout out to Jenny from the block. She's a real one. Got to represent. So shout out to my nephew. He was here for a little bit.
That was cute.
Yeah. So I got to be the bad uncle, the bad influence uncle.
That's me too.
Yeah.
So you went and saw Sonic 2.
Yeah.
What the?
Look here, okay.
The kid wanted to see it, right? That's what it was.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see.
I want to go
too.
see the first one.
I saw the first one, bro, and it was actually pretty good.
And then Knuckles is going to be in this one. You got to see it.
Bro,
Is it just me? Is it weird that Jim Carrey is retiring on Sonic movies?
Yeah, that was. I'm like,
I get it, but the thing is, like, I get it. He's pulling an Eddie Murphy because Eddie Murphy basically retired off of Shrek.
that is true. I mean,
That is true.
He's just like, but here's what I don't understand is Jim Carrey doesn't have like 15 kids. He doesn't have like, 40 houses.
Yeah, you got money.
And a bunch of like fucking models and shit like that. He's just got a shitload of money.
And have you seen? I don't remember what documentary it was, but that dude is out there now, man.
oh yeah.
Like you talk about woke, but not like the way we think of woke. Like
Yeah.
that dude is like holed up in a room painting for 6 days at a time, and
Yeah.
his entire mindset has just like changed.
Yeah. After he did the documentary on what's his name? That one comic he
Jim
did.
and Andy.
Yeah.
I was telling her about that movie the other day. I love that. Have you seen that?
I only seen some of it, like where he got so into character.
Well,
Right.
the documentary starts out, and Jim Carrey goes, "Yeah, it took a while for this documentary to get out because they didn't want people to know how much of a fucking asshole I was." He was a fucking dick on that movie.
Yep.
Oh, it was so good. But people criticize it because they say that wasn't how Andy Kaufman really was. Like, Andy Kaufman was like this really nice guy that would do anything for his friends, blah, blah, blah. And I guess Jim just thought he was like this legit fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of that documentary is, so there's this character named Tony Clifton that Andy Kaufman used to do. Like, it was this really shitty, like, lounge singer character. Right? And his actual manager or somebody else used to do the character also. So it would be Andy Kaufman and the producer guy that would do it as well.
Yeah.
And so once rumors got out that Andy Kaufman is Tony Clifton, Andy Kaufman's doing a stand-up, and his manager walks behind him as Tony Clifton, right? So it starts this big, huge debate about who the fuck Tony Clifton is.
Yeah.
Right? So fast forward to this movie, Tony Clifton, while they're filming this movie, shows up to the Playboy Mansion.
Like the actual Tony Clifton.
Like, well, so Hef thinks it's Jim Carrey.
Oh.
So Hef lets him in, and he's just wrecking shit. Like he's knocking over statues, he's breaking glass, and Hef's just laughing his ass off. He's like, "This is the funniest fucking thing ever." Well, fucking Jim Carrey shows up,
Oh shit.
Who the hell is
and
this
it was
guy?
legit Andy Kaufman's friend doing Tony Clifton
Wow.
because that guy's still alive.
Right.
And so he's doing Tony Clifton, and Jim walks in, and Hefner blows his fucking shit. He kicks both of them out of his party. And it's like, that's the kind of shit that,
Yeah,
it's just so much fun.
Some legendary
But
shit.
but can't you be an asshole and nice to your friends? I mean, like you.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like I'm getting more asshole-ish as I get older. I think you're supposed to do that the other way around. Like, you're supposed
Backwards.
to get nicer as you get older.
No.
No?
I disagree with that.
It's because when you start off, you're looking into the world with a new set of eyes. Now, as you get older, you're like,
This is old shit.
This is what we're gonna keep on doing the same bullshit over again, and you starts irritating you.
That's what I'm saying. You become an asshole as you get
Yeah.
older, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
Somebody said, "Is that the famous Chad?" Yes.
Who's that?
That is.
Sabera is one of my students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. How's it going?
Yeah. So whenever we say, why did Chad say something? That's a Chad.
That's the guy we're talking about.
Well, I'm officially married now, so
Yeah.
sorry to kill you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's like logging off. Oh,
He just killed
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
God damn it, I told you to wait for
Hey,
the stream just
Now
to
we really got canceled.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Things are like, wait.
Yeah, we had like 100 views. Now we're down.
Well,
to
I told
2.
you my plan was to get you guys canceled today.
That's right. Somebody said, Antonio Villas, Chad is a bitch.
Oh, Ant-Man. All right. Yeah, right on.
Is that,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, that's how we roll.
I mean, that's coming from a man with a man bun, so take it for what it's worth.
Oh, your face.
Yeah. No, Tony's a good dude. Ant-Man's a good dude. So, Ant-Man is the guy I worked on the Marvel show with.
okay.
Oh, someone said logging off.
Yeah, Ant-Man's one of the better people I met working on that show.
So let's start from the beginning.
Beginning.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you do? What have you done? Etc.
So I am Chad. Are we starting from like that beginning?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it,
let's
bro.
start from
So
that.
one night my dad had sex with my mom.
I knew it.
Came out the boss ass.
Yeah.
okay.
Are we going that far back?
Let's fast forward.
Okay, fast forward. All right,
Okay.
all right. So yeah, I'm almost 40 now, and I've gotten to do a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
A bunch of cool shit.
A bunch of cool shit. I've been very fortunate. Honestly, I would say if we were going to pinpoint the start of all of this bullshit, I would have to blame it on Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Damn you, Van Damme. I knew it.
Yes, dude. Like,
Van
I
Damme.
wanted to be that guy so fucking bad when I was a kid, so I started doing martial arts. I started working out. I wanted to be Van Damme. And then...
You even saw Cyborg, didn't you?
I loved Cyborg.
Oh, it's fucking the shit.
It was fucking dope for its time.
Bro.
Dude, people talk
It
so
still
much
holds
shit
up.
about that guy today because we found out he was a fucking coke fiend, and
I could have told you that.
pussy hound, and all that shit. But dude, tell me a guy my age in martial arts, acting, or stunts that wasn't.
Coked out and fucking about you?
Yeah, no. That wasn't like
That was lifestyle.
Yeah, that guy was the man back then.
Yeah, he really was, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, I
do that
started
shit
boxing.
now.
I did taekwondo. I did
Yeah.
dumb shit. I wrestled in high school, and then for shits and giggles, I got hired on to do a stunt show for Six Flags. I did that for a little while,
Yeah.
and then
I'm
played
sorry, you're
Batman,
doing the
didn't you?
Batman, right?
I at the time I was engaged to my high school sweetheart at the time. Sorry, baby.
Hashtag make Chad Batman.
She's sharpening her knife.
She was.
She's thinking that you like wait till after the show.
Yeah, she was. I actually told this story to this dude because I met him last weekend at this wrestling show. She was working at a tanning salon over here, and I was waiting on her to get off. And this guy named Tim Storm, who was a huge local professional wrestler here at the time, he comes walking out, and I was just like, "You know who that is?" She was like, "Oh, that's Tim." I was like, "Yeah, do you know who that is?"
Do not point at him.
And I went on this like hour-long rant because he used to wrestle for a company called PCW, which was a local wrestling organization that had TV on UPN back
Right.
then.
Oh,
Back when that was a thing, right?
I remember that.
And so I knew this guy, and I went on this hour-long rant about like the storylines that they were doing and the different kind of blah blah. And she just goes, "You need to meet my cousin." And her cousin was this guy that we call Bear. His name is Ricky. And he got me into the wrestling business because he was wrestling.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I went into professional wrestling. Didn't do it very long. I ended up breaking my neck, but I did it for I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 years.
And they say wrestling's fake.
Yeah,
Nah, I used to say that. Nah, those guys are real athletes, bro.
yeah. Well, and,
Well, the injuries are real.
The injury.
you say fake, and they and the wrestlers get all bitchy, but it's fake the way movies are fake.
The storylines are.
Yeah.
It's fake the way movies are fake. You know, like everybody looks at a movie and they realize that's not real.
Yeah.
But you don't leave a movie theater going, "It's fucking fake."
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like you get lost in the story and the action that's going on, and that's what you're there for. You know? So, yeah, I ended up doing that. I got to meet a lot of cool people in that business. And then I started at Medieval Times in Dallas
Yeah.
with a broken neck.
Oh shit! How'd you break your neck though? Like, what was
Yeah.
it?
How did
So
you
there's a
break it?
move called the Canadian Destroyer.
Hey?
And so it's basically, you know how they set
Does it
up a
smell
pile
like
driver?
Canadian bacon?
So you set up a pile driver by putting the dude's head between your legs, and then you sit down on your butt.
Right.
So Canadian Destroyer is you put the guy's head between your legs, and then you do a front flip over him.
Oh, okay.
He does a back flip, lands on his head in the pile driver position, right? The trick to the move is that the guy doing the pile driver doesn't land flat on his ass. You know, he kind of lands on his tailbone, leaving a bunch of room there, and, you know, you've got your head tucked between his thighs. And as long as his thighs are bigger than from your shoulder to the top of your head never touches.
Oh.
Just for whatever reason, that time didn't work out that way. And basically just spiked on the top of my head.
Damn.
Broke my C7.
Oh.
Did he must have skipped
So
one
was
day.
so did you know instantly after you landed
No.
that you were hurt?
Well,
or
I mean, I knew I was hurt. You know, I
you
knew
continue on with the show?
something was wrong, but, well, that was the end of the match. So all I had to do after that match was just lay there. But I got up, I walked out. I actually wrestled for about 3 weeks with the broken neck.
Oh.
Yeah. So I knew something was wrong, but, you know, 4 years in the wrestling business, you get dinged up, you get banged up.
everything
Right.
hurts.
Shit just starts to hurt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I remember taking this, when they clothesline you over the top rope. So the ring that we were in, the floor underneath the ring was cut out. So there was basically a hole underneath the ring. So the acoustics, you know, when somebody hit the mat, it would sound louder.
Right.
So guy clotheslines me over the top rope. I go to put my feet down, and my feet went under the ring, and there's just nothing there. So I just flat on my back. And I just remember thinking, oh, I think I broke my neck. I thought that did it. I was
You're
like,
like,
oh, I
oh
think I broke my neck.
shit.
Your bone's sticking out the side. Oh, yep, it's broken.
I finished that match, and then went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, you've got a broken C7. And about 3 weeks later, a friend of mine named Alonzo, who's no longer with us, he was like, hey, man, we're hiring at Medieval Times. If you want to, you know how to ride a horse? And I said, yeah, lied. Never been on a horse before. He was like, but you're good at, like, stage fighting, right? I said, absolutely, 100%.
No.
No actual training. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, yeah, totally, cool.
We'll learn as we go.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm
That's
not,
the best way to get any job.
Weapons training? Yeah, I got that.
They show you the horse. What kind of dog is this? So
Look at the dick on that. Now that dog. God damn.
we got a cock on that guy. Yeah, 2 days later, had an interview, and I was working for Medieval Times next day. That was the worst experience.
Why was it the
And the
worst?
best experience of my life. Because they had to teach me how to ride a horse. And
Did you get kicked?
No. Yes, I did get kicked once. Yeah.
No shit.
But the way they would teach you there is no saddle. No saddle, no reins. So the dude, it was this crazy fucking Spanish dude. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but so he has the lead rope on the horse.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, get on. And I've never gotten on a horse with a saddle on, this thing. So I literally dove like head first.
Did you dive over the?
Yeah, totally. Just dove head first, ended up overshooting it and just slid off the backside of the fucking horse. And then I swear to God, I could feel the dude in his head going, what the fuck is it? But
Fucking new guy, huh?
didn't say a word to me, just looked at me, and I was like,
He kept the profession.
yeah. He was all right.
Oh, later that night he went home. So
Oh, yeah, these
like-
motherfucking white boys, like, I can't.
I can't believe.
So I finally got on the horse, and what they do is it's called lunging. So he holds onto this rope. He's got a whip. He cracks the whip behind the horse, and the horse moves. So basically, the training was we would do that till you fell off. And then once you fell off, he would switch the horse's direction. You'd get back on the horse, and he would do the other way till you fell off. And then once you got to where you could walk on the horse without falling off, he would trot. Which trotting is the worst because it's just fucking.
Oh yeah, especially without a saddle.
Yeah, so you're just slamming your nuts on the fucking spine of this horse, and then you fall off. And you get back up and you fall. And this went on for months.
Oh
Like
no.
3 months of this.
Oh jeez.
I think I.
Is that before you actually got on? You actually did a show? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't
So
do
you
my
did
first
that much
show.
training
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. They in Dallas they were very serious about you wanting to be able to ride a horse. So I think I did that for 2.5 months before I even got a saddle.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Were you getting paid?
Yeah, I was getting paid.
Okay.
Yeah, not very well, but no offense.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
So yeah, so then they put a saddle on there, but they wouldn't cinch it down.
Oh shit.
And you didn't get the stirrups. So you would pull the stirrup down, you'd get on the horse,
Yeah.
you'd flip the stirrup up, and you had to balance yourself so that the saddle wouldn't slide back and forth. Still, no reins. He's leading the horse for you. And then finally, he would tighten it up, and you'd get stirrups, but you'd still have no reins. And then he would he'd give you reins, so now you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to control this horse. Well, he would lock the reins together under the horse's neck. Like, it wasn't actually attached to the horse.
Oh.
So you're literally just like, what the fuck is this doing? Like, this isn't doing anything. So, you built up to it, and all the while you're learning how to fight in sand. Like, I don't know if you've ever worked out on the beach, but it is the most
Totally different, yeah.
intense leg workout you've ever had in your life.
Dang.
So between trying to keep myself alive on a horse with just my legs and learning how to fight in 6 inches of sand,
Yeah.
I swear, imagine the worst soreness you've ever been from a leg day workout.
Yeah.
For 4 months straight.
I worked out with you. I could tell.
It was the
I could
worst.
tell you that was horrible.
It was the worst. And then, so yeah, I did that for a while. Ended up fucking my back up.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
On a horse?
Yeah. Well, technically he threw me off, so
Oh. Wow.
sort of on a horse.
Well, I mean, as long as you didn't Superman it, you're good.
Yeah. So ended up fucking my back up.
What, too soon? Bro, come on.
I just got out like, oh.
I was like, what, too soon?
For what?
Really?
What is
For
it?
a Superman joke?
Why would that be too soon?
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be.
I'm lost.
Yeah. Anyway, so, breaking backs.
I feel like this is fucking taking forever.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I started bartending because my neck and my back are now fucked up, and I'm bartending, and a friend of mine that I used to play Little League baseball with, he comes into the bar I'm working at, and he goes, "Dude, you do not look happy." And I was like, "I fucking hate this job.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it." Because for as much as I entertain people, not really a big fan of people. I don't like them. So
Yeah, but your martinis are
I
fire.
feel
though.
like a bartender should come with a psychology degree, because that is all it is just people bitching about stuff. And then here I am in my head, I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck, man. But
Take
I
your
know
shot and tip me, bitch.
this big face has got to pay my rent. So I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks, man. Your wife is fucking another dude. I don't care, bro.
I'm the other guy.
So, yeah.
Fuck.
Wait, Cheryl? Yeah. And then I ended up.
By the way, you're out of beer.
So that friend of mine that came into the bar, he was a recruiter for a company that did overseas contracting.
Oh, that's how you ended up getting
Yeah,
that.
so I ended up in fucking Afghanistan.
Oh shit.
Yeah, was there for like 14 months.
Yeah. Fighting in the sand.
The fucking work. No, I was contracted, dude. I was working in a warehouse. But just sucked. That was probably the worst year of my life. But came home, and I think literally
Fat
within
stacks.
the first month that I came home, I met you.
Yeah, I think we met through Jesse. Jesse, little person. 'Cause I think you guys were both wrestlers, right?
I met her wrestling, yeah.
Yeah.
She actually just got inducted into the Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Get the fuck
No shit.
Yeah, she's
Hey,
a big deal, man. People
Shout
don't-
outs, man. Like,
She's 4 feet tall, but she's like a huge deal.
I've been trying to get her on the show, but you know,
Yeah.
just like Rihanna, she's not returning my emails. It's fine. Maybe I should stop including pictures. Should I do that?
What?
Maybe I should stop including pictures in those emails. You know?
no, some people do that, but it's courtesy. But yeah, that's how we met. Was I think it was downtown Dallas. I think we were doing a fight scene.
Like on the roof of a building.
Yeah. But at first thing, I thought you were Boyka. I don't know if you remember the story. If anybody,
You're still Boyka in my phone.
no, I know. It's 'cause- so when he first got it, this dude had the beard. I mean, I think you were more jacked. No offense, but this dude had
Oh, yeah,
muscles.
yeah. I came home from Afghanistan.
I'm talking about muscles, and I'm like, dude. I was telling my buddy at the time. I said, dude, I think that's the guy because I just finished watching Undisputed. I said, dude, I think that's the guy, and I kept yelling, Boyka. Bring me your fucking champion. He's not responding, bro.
I was giving
maybe-
one gift.
Maybe he doesn't, so I was trying to find my way to wake up the courage to ask him, was he? And then I finally told you started laughing. He goes, nah. You're like, I look like him, though. Thanks.
I know. I was actually pretty flattered.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
That guy's a man.
Yeah, but I was disappointed. Like, oh, that's not fucking him. What a dick. No, and then we did a fight scene, and I think you almost whooped the talent's ass, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Because I think.
Well, he was the shits, man. It was so bad. And granted, he wasn't like an action guy. Like, he was.
No, because I went in there to choreograph a fight scene, a simple fight scene. This fucker fought like this.
Yeah, I
with
was
his fist
just.
backwards.
Yeah, fucking 30 style boxing. I was like,
The fuck you doing?
and then after about the fourth time he hit me, I looked over at Manny because Manny's doing the choreography. So
Yeah.
it's like a talent. I'm just supposed to get beat up. That's all
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do. So there's supposed to be going into that. You kind of know that there's going to be a certain amount of real hits.
Right.
That you're gonna
Totally
take,
okay,
yeah.
right? But this is like my first movie experience.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is my first doing anything as far as movies go. So I came from professional wrestling, so I'm used to getting hit in the face or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he just kept fucking hitting me. So I kind of looked over at Manny and I was just like, dude, this guy hits me again. Because in wrestling, you give receipts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If somebody
right.
hits you, there's your receipt. You know what I mean? So I was like, this motherfucker hits me again.
He's got to catch a receipt.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
You hit me a couple times, I fucking plunk you back, and
Yeah.
now we're back to here. Right? We
Yeah.
can start over.
And now you know.
Yeah, now you
fucking
know,
hit me.
you'll fucking
So-
lay it off.
What pissed you off more? The fact that he was hitting you or the fact that he hit like a bitch?
Well,
It wasn't even a good hit.
no, because it was like that limp wristed, like he's hitting you with these knuckle shits. You know what I mean? Like, just open your hand and slap me. You know what I mean? At that point, fuck. But again, the first time on a movie set, I don't know, how to do these things. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't know how to go to because I mean, the first time I've ever met Manny, I don't know how,
How high up he
big
is.
this guy is, in
Nah,
this world.
yeah.
So I'm just trying to get along. You know what I mean? So I'm
Right.
not trying to make waves, but yeah, I just kind of look over at Manny and I was like, if he hits me again, man, I'm just gonna hit him back.
I started laughing like, dude, I'm about to fuck him up too myself.
And he just looks at me and goes, "What kind of fucking punches are those?" I was like, "Oh, okay, we're on the same page."
No, because
all
remember
right.
the fight scene. It was like you got to come in, like square it. And this dude just did. As soon as you say action, I'll do it. Like it doesn't work that way, dipshit. Action. I'm like,
Put him up. Put him up.
he goes, who the fuck? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like,
Yeah, I had no idea this movie was about Jack Dempsey.
Exactly.
Whatever. All right.
and we became good friends after that. I mean, we just kept. What was it? We just sat down and we were just. He was telling us about. Because I thought you were a soldier also. I thought you were a Marine when you said you were overseas. You're like, nah, bro. I'm just-
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have the way you carry yourself, like one of those guys.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we became friends. And we just started working projects together. Then we started training together. Worst thing ever. I started working out with this asshole. Fuck, bro.
Well, the funny thing is, to show you how good of a friend this dude is, so we were doing projects, and then I was actually looking up like a stunt school. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna try to do this, I'm gonna do this for real. And I can't remember what website it was on, but I was on some stunt school website.
Pornhub.
And I saw. Studs. And I saw it was an ad for Marvel Universe Live. Like they were doing auditions for Marvel Universe Live. I was like, I don't know what this is. So I looked it up and I saw some videos of it. And I was like, this is fucking badass. I think I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then so I went back and I clicked on the tab and I was like, fuck, it's in Orlando. And then I realized, oh fuck, it's in 2 days. I was like, oh shit. So I called Manny up and I was like, hey man, what are you doing tomorrow? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, how you feel about driving to Orlando?
Yeah.
There was like a beat for a second. He was like, yeah, cool, man, whatever.
He's just like, all right.
Yeah, like so that's it. So we packed up my truck and we drove to Orlando. We stayed the night. I did the audition like on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then literally from the audition, we jumped back in my truck and we drove home.
Yeah.
And it took 7 months to hear back from them. So,
It took a long ass time.
Fun story. The chick at donut. Where was that donut place we stopped at?
Oh yeah.
Gave us free donuts because of Chad. Swear to
Took your
God.
shirt off,
I don't
right?
know.
You took your shirt off. That's what it was.
I don't know what the hell. Like, I'm like, bitch, what about me though? She's like, I'm not moving, fat ass. Chad. I'm like, oh,
Those were the best donuts too. I mean, before I even knew about the audition, I was on like this super strict diet.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
whatever
that's right,
reason,
you-
I don't remember why.
I forgot what
you wanted to see
you
if
were
you could do
preparing
it.
for something.
Yeah. I think it was just one of those things because every now and again I like to just see if I can do something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I've never had abs. Fuck it, let me get abs. And then so we ended the fucking audition, and there was, what was it, Dunkin' Donuts? Was it just a regular donut place?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a donut. That's all I remember. It was a donut
I
place.
just went ham. Right? Like 12 of those bitches. I was just like,
Bro,
you're driving first leg.
Jesus Christ, how many donuts did you give y'all for free?
a lot. It was a lot.
like half for free.
Like it was a lot though. I was like, man, I'm like, you fucker. How do you do it? Because we were on the whole trip. We were on this Japanese Red Bulls. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did a music video. Hold on. We did a music video. What was it? Oh, actually, the music video is actually
Light up your life.
light up, but
to live
it was
or
legit. It was,
something.
they had explosion and everything, but they were funded by like the Japanese Red Bull, bro. And we in this fucker, hey, give me the cases. We threw them in the truck, and that's all we were drinking from the way to
Yeah, it was like 2 cases of knockoff Red Bull.
Japanese. I don't know
Like
what
the
it said.
unhealthiest thing you can ever
I don't know. I peed green for a month,
Oh,
bro.
dude, it was so bad. It was
I
so
peed green
bad.
for a month. I'm like, oh, is this normal?
It, like, it
That's
left
one of those
this
things where you
film
don't want
on
to
my
question
teeth.
it.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's
But yeah,
hilarious.
I think I drove all night and you drove all day,
That's a
and
long drive, too.
we were up there, bro. I mean, everybody was so nice up there, though. I remember that. I was like, bro, you're gonna get it. There's no way you don't get
Well,
it.
I didn't think I did because it took so long. And then I actually think I wasn't originally cast for that.
Yeah,
Because when I got there, there was this guy named Omar. And me and Omar were talking, and me and Omar had the exact same contract. The exact same contract. But he got moved from the characters that he got contracted to over to Iron Fist.
who's that?
So I feel like they moved him over and they were like, oh, fuck,
tell 'em.
we have to fill this contract here.
Yeah.
And so they called me, and then, I came in and I filled that. So, yeah, I think we did that sometime in the summertime.
It was
of,
summer.
like
It was fucking summer because I was like, oh, dude.
2016. And then
Yeah.
I didn't hear back until like March of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I remember you trained hard though. You were training
It was a long
because
ass
you had a whole routine with the swords, the staff, the nunchucks.
Yeah, I remember.
I
Yeah,
had no idea what the show was going to be.
Yeah. He showed up. He goes, no, none of that. I just need to. This fucker's dressed up like said with the Ninja Turtle. I got my shit ready though. What do I do now?
it's like, yeah, we just need you to take your shirt off.
Yeah.
No, actually, they needed you in tights.
Yeah, I actually. So whenever you find out about an audition the day before you're supposed to be there, you miss some of the fine print. And yeah, so I was supposed to wear like head to toe spandex.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to see like what
you
you
look like.
looked like.
Yeah,
And I think
a
I went.
superhero
Yeah,
costume.
I think I went in some MMA shorts and like a
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
yeah, like,
It's a great. It's the
Make
picture
sure
still
it's
up there.
tank top.
yeah. Some dude that had auditioned the day before, they told him to come back the next day, and they were wearing like those morph suits. So
wow.
They took it real serious.
Hey, Antonio said, tell them about the time when she pulled it out and it was bigger than yours.
It happens sometimes.
Oh, is that when you went to Thailand?
I did go to Thailand.
Oh, you did, right?
I did go to Thailand.
Oh, them lady boys. Tell
They
them.
are rough, bro.
Wait, what do you mean?
Jesus. So there's this. I can't remember. I think it's in Phuket. I think. I don't
We got
So then
Phuket.
this is an actual story.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah.
Okay.
So when I was in Afghanistan, you have to stay out of the country for X amount of days. I think it's like 330 days to be considered tax free. So you only get 2-week vacations in that year contract. And so one of them, I went to Rome, and then the second one, I went to Thailand. And I didn't traveling alone. You know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like I did like a couple of Google searches beforehand, kind of came up with an idea, and then Phuket was one of the cities that I wanted to go to.
Phuket.
And I can't remember what the street's called, but there's like this mile-long street, and it's like the nightlife street,
Nothing but brothels and shit.
bars and all kinds of shit. Well, it looks like pearly gates. There's just one way into this thing, and it's this fucking gate. And so you walk into the gate, and I'm not kidding you, the first 6 bars on either side are ladyboy bars, and they're standing outside.
Yeah, they stand outside.
Yeah.
to get people to go in.
Like if you've never been
How
to
do
New
you know,
Orleans,
Bill?
like
Right.
those dudes that like
I'm doing that. I'm
It's like
working
so
on
instead of a shot bar, it's
so it's a cock bar.
It's a cock bar.
So
Cockfight.
you're literally walking down the street, and these girls are like grabbing you and like trying to pull you into these things. I didn't get
Like,
through the
literally.
first 6 bars, and I was missing a sleeve.
No
Like
shit.
they had literally ripped the sleeve off of my shirt.
Wow.
You weren't pissed?
Who gives a shit? It was like 112 degrees with like 110% humidity. I was like, fuck it, I can do without a sleeve. But it's just, man, it's.
Hey, Dustin says, tell Kramer I said, fuck bike night. Damn, everybody's just telling
I'm gonna, I'll leave that
all the
one
dirt
out.
coming out.
I still work there, so I'm gonna leave that. No, it's a running joke. So like once a month, Harley does bike night, and you have to stay there longer. So usually you get off at 7. Bike nights run till 9,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Because a lot of times these dudes will show up for free beer. And being a salesman of Harley, you're trying to do your job,
Right.
and you end up just staying there 2 hours longer for fucking nothing.
Oh,
a lot of
damn.
nights.
Just a
But then on the other hand, some nights you can sling fucking bikes out of there. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of this little running joke of fuck bike night.
Fuck it.
that's fucking hilarious.
All right, so yeah, I did Marvel for a while. Got done with that, and then
What Marvel character were you?
So the first year I was there, I was contracted for certain roles. I took it upon myself to learn almost all of them. Just because, that's kind of...
That way, whenever you
Why
get a
not?
chance.
Well, exactly. That's exactly the reason.
Yeah.
If somebody goes down, I get to play another character that I don't usually get to play.
Right.
Which happened. The guy that played Iron Man the first year I was there, he got sick, and he was out the whole weekend. And because the way you have to maneuver things around to make things fit,
Yeah.
I ended up having to do Hulk. Which is funny, because at the time, I was 215 pounds. Because the characters I was playing that year, I didn't have to be skinny. I was playing, I was backup for Captain America. I was backup for Yondu, who wears this big puffy fucking outfit.
Yeah.
So I got to be as big as I wanted to. And then they were like, oh yeah, put on this Iron Man costume. And I did, so that first year, I think I did 8 shows. I think I busted the zipper 6 of the 8 shows.
That's a buff ass Iron Man.
They were calling me Hulkbuster. So,
Why is he wearing the Hulkbuster suit?
No, that's just a regular Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
So the second year, I was actually signed on for Iron Man because the guy that played Iron Man, he went and did some other things.
Yeah.
He's actually kicking ass down in Atlanta right now.
I thought you got signed up for. I thought you originally were supposed to play Thor.
No, so there's a lot of things that happened there. My initial contract for Marvel was I was going to play my main role was one of Yondu's Ravagers.
Okay.
And it ended up being Taserface, the fucking. So it was really
Taserface.
It was this really just disgusting mask that I had to wear all the time. And I had to share it with other people too. Certain people are real funky.
What kind of name is Taserface?
Yeah, so Taserface was my main role. So that's what I did for most of the first year. And then my backup roles were understudy Cap, understudy Loki.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then that first year I never did Loki.
But you got to do Cap, though, right?
But I did get to do Cap.
I can see you as a Captain America. I can't see you as a Loki, man.
Bro.
Nah, I can't see
So
that.
I ended up getting to do Loki once. And
Loki doesn't have a fight scene, though, does he?
Shits, bro. I was so bad at it. Because Loki, I think, had the most dialogue. Because he was the main villain. So he had the most dialogue in the whole show. And I had learned it, but I was like, oh, I'm never going to do it. Because the guy, Dave, who was Loki, was so good, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was so good. I would put him up there with the dude that played him in the movies. Like, he had mannerisms down. He had this character.
Right.
And so I just never thought. I was like, there was one other person behind him, and then there was me. So I was like, no, I'll never do fucking Loki.
Right. The third understudy.
So I ended up having to do Loki. So I had to learn like all that dialogue in one day. And so I'm thinking about words. I'm not thinking about mannerisms. I'm not, and I just ended up being this very fucking robotic fucking Loki.
I'm burdened with glorious purpose.
But you had to go through training though. Like you had to get
Man.
training and
yes.
what
So
you can't say right.
no, so I'm no longer under contract, so I can talk about whatever.
All right, what celebrity was an asshole to you?
We didn't really meet. The only real like Marvel celebrities that I got to meet were Lou Ferrigno was there our opening day show.
Nice.
Nicest fucking person in the world. Like if
He's still big as hell.
He's still massive.
He's still giant. Yeah, he's still a big dude. I got to meet. I don't remember the dude's name. The plain white guy from Shield.
Olsen? Coulson?
Yeah.
Really?
That guy actually came the same day that Terry Crews came. So I got to meet Terry Crews as well.
Oh, that's
Did you
dope.
grab his junk?
No, I never actually got to meet Terry Crews. He was there.
You just seen him.
Yeah. So you don't really get to meet those guys too much, but yeah. So that was the first year. Second year, I had to go from. So they told me that I was going to be doing Ironman the second year, and I'm 220 pounds. And they were like, "Yeah, we want you to do Ironman, but you're going to have to fit in that suit." And I was like, "Okay, how do I?"
Why can't I just do the Hulkbuster suit?
What weight do you want me to be down at? And they're like, "About 185."
Oh.
220. 220. I spent the last year bulking up.
Here's some cigarettes.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Hey, we want you to be 185 and tour starts in 2 months.
What you do?
I was like,
You had to pull a Christian Bale?
dude, I ended up getting down to 183.
Did you really?
Yeah. Which wasn't really the hard part because my body fluctuates pretty well. Like I've gone big and I've gone small.
Well, you always been serious about your health, man. I that's one thing we all know you for, that you don't play with with that. Why though? Like, why is it?
Well, it just goes back to Jean-Claude Van Damme, man. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to look like that dude.
Yeah.
So my first gym membership was at 14 at Stroud's Fitness right over here.
Yeah.
That's right, because you're from here.
And then I just got hooked, man.
Dang.
It got into my blood, so it was just what I did.
Yeah.
Just what I did. And then so Marvel ended.
No, so who did you play the second year? So
Iron Man.
So you were Iron Man the whole
I
time?
was Iron Man the whole year.
Yeah.
So Iron Man was tough, man, because it was, I think next to the Hulk, it was the heaviest costume on the show. So a lot of sweat. So you're doing 8-9 shows a week. You're working every week.
Right.
You get 4 or 5 weeks in. I went from, the only reason I stayed 183 was because of that costume.
Because of that costume.
Really?
Yeah, because I realized I think I'd actually gotten down to into the 170s, like the first
wow.
2 months that we were in the show, just
You're
because
sweating? And...
Yeah, because I kept the diet that I was on to get down to 183, and now I'm wearing that suit all the time. I got down into the 170s, so I just started eating whatever the fuck I wanted at that point.
Right.
I'm burning off so many calories that what does it matter?
Yeah. That was a good show though.
I used to see your. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I actually got to see your show. It was really good, man.
I learned so much on that show.
Yeah.
So much on that show. The second year, I was actually the fight captain of that show.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was the guy that was in charge of keeping the integrity of the fights, making sure people are safe, they're not hurting each other. But I learned a lot from that show. The fight coordinator and the stunt coordinator is a guy named David Dersh. He taught me a lot. Like that first year, just watching to him, just listening to him, angles, intent, just all these things that you don't think about. And then having to work directly with him the second year.
Yeah.
He's just really good, man. Like he's been a lifelong martial artist. He's an older guy.
Right.
But just like the knowledge that he had, you just sit there and listen to him talk.
Yeah.
And you just learn so much.
What would you say was one of the things that after you got in Marvel, you were just like, I'm never gonna do this again. You know what I mean? Like, I've been fucking up on this in my fights for so long. Now I've learned this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So luckily I came from pro wrestling, so I had a pretty good idea of how to sell punches.
Right.
I can sell punches. I can sell kicks. You kind of learn that in wrestling. But angles, I think, was because being on a movie set, it's different.
Right.
So if the camera's there, I can punch here, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
It looks like I hit you.
Right.
But when you're playing on a show that's basically in the round, which is a theater term for there's an audience all the way around you.
Right.
Those angles matter now. So if I do this, well, over there it looks like it hit, but that guy right there knows I missed by
A lot. Yeah.
4 feet,
Right.
So what he was really good at was teaching me when to make contact and where to make contact to be the safest, because there was actual contact at certain times. And then on the times you're not making contact, how to sell that best to an audience that's all the way around you.
Okay.
And that was the thing that I took with me from there to, then I moved to LA. I was doing movies there for a little while. And then I got on a show in Vegas.
Yeah.
And, I used a lot of the stuff there as well. So shout out to David Dersh.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself ever doing it again, though? Do you miss the applause, the all that? And
Did you have any groupies?
What job?
Yeah.
Which, Marvel? No.
No?
No.
No soccer moms?
Because Marvel's a different company, man.
Yeah.
So the company I actually worked for was a company called Feld. And Feld runs Disney on Ice. They run the Marvel Show. They run Monster Jam. They run Motocross and Supercross. They're the ones bringing back the Barnum and Bailey Circus. So, yeah, it's coming back, by the way. But Marvel and Disney were there. Like, when we were doing rehearsals to get the show starting, there was a representative there.
Oh, wow.
Kevin Feige, like the man at Marvel, came to the show.
Did you meet him?
Huh?
You meet him?
Well, he was there during rehearsals, but I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy that's going to run up to you and be like, oh my God. I'm not going to do it. So like stuff like that, you're not allowed to take pictures in costume. You're not allowed to. You're literally PR and media trained for that company. There's no backstage shit, so people don't come backstage. So there's no direct interaction with the people that are in the stands. So groupies there, no. Medieval Times.
Let me tell you.
That was weird. Medieval Times was weird.
Why you say that?
So at Medieval Times, after the show, you as a knight in the show go out into the audience. Like, you go out into the lobby and
that's right.
people are allowed to bring their kids and take pictures with you, and you do that whole thing.
Yeah.
So you would go out there, you would do that. You're all hot, you're sweaty, you're tired. You don't want to be out here. You know what I mean? So you're pretty cranky, but you fake it. But you would go back to the locker room and you'd take your belt off and you'd have phone numbers fall out of your belt from like these moms that would bring their kid up to you, and as they're taking a picture, they just slide their phone number into your belt. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like,
So did you guys just like put them in a big bowl and you just pick one?
Just pick one.
that wasn't my deal. It did happen. I'm not going to say it didn't happen. But my whole thing was, I don't know which person gave me what number.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I'm not playing that kind of Russian roulette. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, you could be.
You don't want to commit to something.
yeah, all right, that's nice handwriting, and she's a fucking sea donkey. Like, I'm not doing
Like no, I wanted the hot blonde.
Yeah.
She came up.
But
I gotta try this other number.
there were guys there that would, yes, very much so. Very much
I mean, once the train's left the station, bro, like.
Well, let's put a pin on that.
Show must go on.
What's going on?
We'll go on break. Who chose the songs this time?
I think you did. You always choose the songs, bro. You choose the best ones.
We'll be back.
So, right after this.
Hey, hi guys, welcome to the Cancel Show. I am G Chavez, the third wheel of the group. You can catch us every Friday from 9 to 11 on Facebook Live. Like, subscribe, follow us, tweet us, do everything. Help us get rich. I don't want to work. Please support me. I'm dying here. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All right, where we left off last time. So you said Marvel thing. With all that, I know you had to take, like, there were certain things you couldn't say, certain things you couldn't do. But you as a person, you're very out there. Very well opinionated.
You're a very opinionated person.
This is the
From what
part
I
where
can
we
see.
get canceled, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fuck it. Why not?
So yeah, every time you post on Facebook, like I say, I get my popcorn out because it's about to go down.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. Like, we talked about this earlier. Like, the older I get, I feel like the crankier I'm getting.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you've known me a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that I considered myself a liberal person.
Right.
You know, somebody that leans left. And I still have a lot of, liberal thoughts. But the older I get, the more I'm starting to, like, get more conservative on things. And now that it's getting so polarized, I'm kind of right in the middle, you know, and which allows me to call out bullshit
For
when
both
I
sides.
see it, right? So
Right.
I'm not beholden to one side or the other. So, you get this narrative out there that your vision of the world depends on what information you're taking in.
Right.
Right. So since I'm not a Fox News guy, I'm not a CNN guy, I'm not doing one or the other. I have people that I like watching that are on the conservative side who have some good ideas, but those same people have really shitty ideas.
Right.
When it comes to other things. So there are people that I like on the left that have really good ideas, but also have really shitty ideas. So I'm not beholden to one thing or the other. So when I see bullshit, I call it. And the problem with the way that people live now is if it doesn't go with your narrative, then you're just the worst person of all time.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the people on the left, if you don't follow suit and fall in line, you're a racist or you're a homophobe or you're a transphobe or you're this, that, the other thing, And, now you've got the people on the conservative side coming up with labels like groomer and, just because they disagree with something that happens on the left. And I'm just in the middle screaming, you both full of fucking shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to fucking call you out on it. So I decided a little while ago that the only social medias I use are Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to use Instagram for me. Facebook is just going to be me starting fires. I'm putting opinions out there. I'm putting views out there. If you don't like it, feel free to comment.
Right.
Please. Because what I'm doing is I am that guy that if I hear something and I take that information in and it makes sense to me,
Yeah.
I will change my mind.
Right.
I'm not the guy that's locked in on ideas.
Right.
I have my ideas because I went out and I made my own opinion. Right? I didn't let Fox News tell me how to think about it. I didn't let CNN tell me how to think about it.
Right.
I took in as much information as I could based on the way I was raised and the way I see the world. I have my opinions. Right? And I like being in debates. The problem that's going on right now is if you don't like what I'm saying, you want me to shut the fuck up.
Right.
That's why you see on these college campuses, these speakers come up and these fucking dipshits that are spending $70,000 a year to go to this university stand up and pull fire alarms and blow air horns and don't let people talk. What the fuck is that doing for you?
Exactly.
That puts you in an echo chamber to where you're only surrounding yourself with people that believe the same shit you do.
Yep.
Right? I didn't think that in my lifetime I would see that the liberal side be the people against free speech. I didn't think that would happen.
Right.
That drives me crazy, right? If you don't believe what I believe, you need to shut the fuck up. I need to shut you down.
You need to leave.
It's where cancel culture came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the whole thing of, oh, well, you said something about this person, so you must be a homophobe.
Yeah.
No. homosexuality, racism, these are things that have nuances,
Exactly.
right? And because maybe I don't believe in one aspect of this conversation, doesn't mean I believe that way about the whole topic,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
example, I posted this thing on Facebook that said, our girls' sports are not Plan B for failed
I actually saw
that.
athletes.
That was
laughing hard.
That
at
thing
that.
has
I agree
over
fully with that.
3,000 shares.
that shit was
right?
hilarious. bro.
3,000 shares. It has nothing to do with the entire LBGTQ. I'm sure I'm leaving out some letters, and
Plus,
I'm not sorry
subtract.
for
I
it.
don't even
Yeah.
know. Man.
There's a lot of
No.
letters. Once you get to
I
the
have-
first three, just
yeah,
leave it alone.
I have my opinion on trans people. Right?
Right.
And if you want to know it,
Let's
I'll
do
tell
it.
you.
Yeah, I do.
But when you get down to the very nitty gritty of it,
Yeah.
that is a biological male competing against biological females.
I agree.
And in my opinion, that is not fair. That is not fair. You know, and the narrative that's pushed is testosterone. It's always about testosterone because that is the one thing in this argument that can be controlled. You can put males on testosterone blockers, you can put them on estrogen, and now all of a sudden we have a level playing field.
Right.
That's
So they
not
say.
true. That's not true. If you've gone through puberty as a male for, let's just point out Leah Thomas, okay? Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
She went through her life 20 years as a male.
Right.
So you went through puberty. You built up a bigger bone structure. You built up stronger connective tissue. You have
Heavier
larger lung
bones.
capacity, which for a swimmer, pretty goddamn important. You have a bigger heart that is producing more red blood cells. That's what EPO is. That's what Lance Armstrong got in trouble for on the Tour de France, taking blood out of his body, and before he competed, putting more
Putting
blood
in
back
more.
in. That is illegal. EPO is illegal in sports. So why can a male who has a larger heart that produces more red blood cells be able to compete against a woman who doesn't?
So here's what I think. One, that post was fucking awesome.
It really was.
But here's why I think they should just go ahead and open the floodgates. If you are a male, born male, and you decide you want to transform your body and compete in female sports, 100% go ahead, because we're seeing the results, and I think it won't be until these results become undeniable that they're going to be like, oh wait,
It is okay.
females and males are fundamentally different. And the reason why we have competition sports is like, okay, these two people are relatively even so they can compete. Well, once other people, and I say other people, I mean the people who are trying to deny that males and females are fundamentally different. Once they finally open their eyes, be like, hey, look, every person that was born male and transitioned female is now dominating that sport in the females. So now you have males dominating the male sports and males dominating the female sports.
Well, that's the thing.
So now, like you said, our daughters won't have a fair chance to compete.
Right.
Well, the thing is the problem now is that there aren't female or male to female trans athletes that are dominating anything.
At all.
Leah Thomas came in first, and then the other one she came in fifth, and the other one she came in whatever she did.
Yeah.
But she's doing
That is because as William, he was a very mediocre athlete. Very mediocre athlete.
400 and something place.
What happens when a top 10 level elite male athlete decides to transition and blows you the fuck out of whatever sport it is you're playing?
100%.
That's where we're going.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the saying, you give an inch, they take a mile. You know dudes. We've all been in locker room with dudes. You can think of one right now that would transition just to be good at sports.
Ah, hell yeah.
100%.
Just to be
100%.
just to be the top.
We all know that asshole. And that's where we're going.
Yep.
They will do it just to spite the people that think it's okay for men and women to compete together.
Right.
They will do it just to make you look fucking stupid. I know those dudes. They're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Yep.
And if you let in the Leah Thomases, you have to let in those assholes. So it's just a slippery slope to where we're going, and I agree with you.
They should just let it happen.
At the point now, fuck them. Because I realized the other day that I am fighting against feminists
Bro, we're going to get...
for the protection of women.
Yep.
What the fuck happened?
Well, we're going to get on that, too. Antonio said there's too many pussies nowadays, and I agree.
Too many pussy. Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is that because the men are transitioning? Is that?
Well, most of those people aren't getting sexual reconstruction surgeries. Leah Thomas had to fucking bulge the size of my fist when she was interviewed after that race. Like,
she was very excited that she won that race. We'll just say that.
You're going to tell me that there's a guy out there that's not going to grow his hair out long, keep his sack, do the NCAA rules, and then after he gets done winning every fucking championship there is to win, go back to being a man.
And those records that have been trashed are now going to stay because no born female will be able to get close to those records.
Yes, it's just it's dumb.
I mean, I 100% agree with you, and I'm at that point too where I am trying to protect. I'm trying to protect females.
Yes.
From feminists.
But the thing is too, like we just talked about, whenever you say something like this, whenever you say Leah Thomas is a biological male competing against women, and I don't think that's fair, you get the transphobe. Well, you're just transphobic. A, that's a made-up word. You're not going to insult me with a made-up word.
Right.
And B, again, this does not have to do with the entire transgender community.
Right.
This has to do with this specific topic
Yep.
that I am against. This doesn't generalize the entire community of trans people.
Yeah, in other words, you don't hate any of them. You just don't like this one specific
Exactly.
issue.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't, like we talked about earlier, I have my opinion on trans people. Right. Trans and non-binary don't make sense to me. They're not real. They're not real.
Right.
They do. Gay is another thing. That happens naturally in nature.
Right.
Primates have homosexuality, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Trans and non-binary do not happen in nature. I mean, it happens in birds
a
and
human
lizards,
cross.
but most of those are asexual creatures.
Right.
There's not a primate on the planet other than humans that are trans. It's not natural. It is a mental thing. It's a mental thing.
I agree.
We don't tell schizophrenics that the voices in their heads are real. We don't tell people with DID that all of those personalities they have inside them are real.
Right.
Why do we tell the guy who thinks he has a woman inside of him that that's real? Gender dysphoria is still considered a medical disease in the scientific books.
Right.
So why did we stop doing that?
I 100% agree with you where it is a mental thing, but it's kind of one of those deals where it's like, okay, what's the harm? You see what I'm saying?
100%.
If John wants to be Joanne and he's not harming anybody,
Right.
fuck it, go ahead.
Same thing.
Laissez-faire.
It's your body.
It's your body. Do
with it what you want.
Do what you will. However, if every now and then I'm just like, hey Johnny, what's up? Oh, my bad, Joanne. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to come after me.
Yeah.
For that. You know what I mean?
If I respect you as a person, I will treat you like I treat everybody else.
There you go.
If I love you as a person, I will literally fight for you. I have in the past. No matter who you have sex with, what's going on between your legs, don't care. Trans people, exactly the same way.
Right.
If I respect you as a person, I will do whatever. But you're really gonna make that big of a deal about fucking pronouns?
Yeah.
Pronouns. This is my problem with pronouns. You don't refer to people in pronouns when they're there. I don't go, if you're sitting right here and we're having a conversation, I don't go, oh, he's an idiot. I say, Rashad's an idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't use pronouns whenever you're around.
I see what you're
Right.
saying.
So these people want us, whenever they're talking about them when they're not around,
Yeah.
you want me to use, come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't never
Come on.
understood that.
You don't get your own adjectives.
So your boy
Yeah, I see what
talked-
you're saying.
He said people mix up with gender with gender identity.
Okay, so, yes. Here's the thing. This is where, when we talked about earlier, where I kind of started on the left side and I started kind of pushing right.
Right.
This is the exact moment. If you want to say trans women, cool. You get all the rights that we get.
Right.
You get all the equal privileges we get. You should not be discriminated against because of the choices you've made.
Right.
Right? But you're not a woman. You're not a woman.
Right.
We can call you a trans woman all day long. But when you're looking me in the face and saying that trans women are actual women, denying thousands of years of human history,
Right.
you lost me. You lost me at trans women are actual women.
Right.
If you wanted to tell me sex is biological, gender is fluid, I'm even cool with that. Are there people on this planet that are gender fluid? Abso-fucking-lutely. David Bowie, Mick Jagger,
Oh, yeah.
Prince. You know, there's
Tom
every
Hiddleston.
MMA fighter, every female MMA fighter you've ever met, they
Right.
lean a little bit masculine. So there are gender fluid people, 100%.
Yeah.
But you're in that gender. You're a male or you are a female. And there's all kinds of categories in those two. But when it comes down to it, you're biologically one or the other.
Right.
See, so here's the deal, though. Is that, huh?
Dildo.
No, yeah, here's the deal, though. The deal. You know what I mean? So we have to draw the line somewhere. You know what I mean? Like motorcycles and cars. At some point, you put enough wheels on a motorcycle. You know, it's like, okay, look, like at some point, just to when you pull up a motorcycle with 4 wheels and a hood, and it's got a Honda Accord engine, like at some point you're just like, look, bro, you're. So when it comes to males and females, yes, is there X, XX, XY? Okay, yes, we get it, but there's nuances. But like you said, like there are 2 categories. You could be whatever you want to be in this category, but you're in this category.
Yeah.
If, like you said, like if you want to be, if you are a man and you transition to a woman, okay, you're a trans woman. Sure, I might call you a woman. Sure, I might call you a trans woman. But there is a fundamental difference between you being born a man and transitioning to a woman, and a woman being born a woman. So
Yeah, they're different.
like we just have to be like, okay, I'm going to need you to understand that there is a line there, and we have to pick a line.
Well, the
Because
fact that,
otherwise we're just going to be confused, and we could do this all day.
the fact that you call them trans women,
Right.
you're acknowledging that there's a difference. If there wasn't, you just call them woman.
True.
But you're calling them trans woman. You're acknowledging that there's a difference between a trans woman and a woman.
Right.
Just by the simple fact that you're adding that word in front of woman. So I don't understand where the problem lies. Again, you know, it's your life. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Again, if I respect you, I will try my best to use your pronouns. I'm not going to go out of my way to be an asshole unless you're an asshole to me.
Exactly.
But there's science.
Yeah.
That backs all this shit.
Facts exist. And because you don't
What about the
want them
alternative
to,
facts?
that's made up. Just because you don't want things to be the way they are doesn't change the fact that they are.
Right.
Right? And now we've gone into this fucking la land where there's 100 genders. There
Bro,
might be
like-
150 now. I slept for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you've completely lost reality. You're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
And I refuse to acknowledge you.
That's where I'm at. With
Yeah, if you're gonna call yourself Z sexual, fuck you, man. I'm not keeping up with that.
I'm not.
I'm not keeping up with that.
I'm not gonna entertain this.
I'm not doing that. Go fuck yourself. Don't waste my time. I'm not doing that. I will not acknowledge you.
It's like when you to me it's kind of like nicknames. You know, like when Puff went from don't call me Puff, call me Puff Daddy. No, call me P Diddy. Like bro, like
Call me Diddy.
I'm gonna pick one thing.
Brother Love, I think is that.
Like bro,
Pick
I'm
one
gonna
thing.
call you. I'm gonna call you one thing. I'm still gonna respect you, but you gotta meet me halfway somewhere.
I will do my very best to call you whatever you want me to call
Right.
you. As long as it has to do with being a human.
Exactly.
I'm not going to call you a fucking turtle. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a guy who's
I want it to be a
transitioned,
Ninja Turtle though.
if you're a male that's transitioned to female, I will do my very best.
Yeah.
I will do my very best until you try to pass a law that makes me.
Right.
When you start trying to pass laws that say I have to refer to you as something, and now you are literally trying to control my speech,
Yeah.
I will fight you till the day I fucking die.
100%.
Yes.
And I will put all of this nonsensical, woke, gender theory bullshit
Yeah.
on fire.
But at the same time, you'll defend to your death their right to be treated equally.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's the fucked up part about it. They don't see it.
But that's the thing. I think the vast majority of Americans are in that middle. I really think there's only a few who are on the
Far
quote
left or
unquote
far right.
yeah, the far left, the far right, I think there's only like, maybe 10% that are on the okay, there's 150 genders and we need to teach CRT to children.
Those are just
you know what I
people
mean?
they're putting on the news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's only, 10% that are like, oh, well, they're teaching CRT to children and that's wrong. And, like.
Well, I mean, they passed a bill in Florida.
But
They
the
passed a bill in
CRT?
Florida. No, it's about teaching gender theory to fucking elementary school.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, so it's called the Don't Say Gay Bill, which again, that term comes out of the left,
Right.
who for the last 2 years have been on this crusade about misinformation.
Yeah.
Yet they throw it in your face.
Yeah.
They call it the Don't Say Gay Bill. Has nothing to do with saying gay. In fact, the bill doesn't say the word gay at all. It is the Parental Rights and Education Act. And what it does is it prevents you from teaching your sexual identity to children ages kindergarten through 3rd grade. That's it. That's it. And people lost their fucking minds.
Really?
Lost their fucking minds. We have to be able to tell them about this. We have to be able to do. Fucking why?
Yeah.
How old are you in kindergarten? 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You're
in
worried
3rd
about
grade,
fucking Legos at that time.
Exactly.
So you're 5 to 8 is the age range that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knew what sexuality they were at 5 to 8?
And but here's the kicker though. You're 5 to 8. You're worried about ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. How are you supposed to keep track of what binary, non-binary?
Your brain's not developed.
Like
Your brain doesn't understand those concepts.
Again, that's one of those college level things. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't need a law.
I do get the reasoning behind the outrage.
Right.
Like, they see it as, if we teach them young to accept alternative lifestyles, then as they grow older, they'll be more in tuned to doing that. The problem is, they don't understand. Their brains are malleable. They're still being formed. So when you start teaching people about being gay, lesbian, trans, now they start to think that they are without the capability of rational thinking.
You know what I call it?
That is what is called grooming. Like, that's where the term grooming comes from. Indoctrination. That's the exact definition of indoctrination.
So you know what I call it? I don't call it the don't say gay bill. I call it the I don't want to talk to my kids bill.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
okay.
well,
Timmy's
yes.
coming home and he's like,
That is-
"Hey, I heard in school
That is the problem.
what that Bob's mom and his aunt are gay. Dad, what's gay? Oh, I don't want to talk about that, so I'm gonna shut down the school. Like,
I
bro,
don't have kids.
you know what I mean?
If I had a 5-year-old that came to me and asked me about what is gay, I don't want to have that conversation when he's 5 years old either.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to have that conversation.
you don't want to. But there's a lot of conversations you don't want to have with your kids
But
that
at
you have with your
5,
kids.
You shouldn't even be shown that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
You should, because what happens is
Kids
people,
have the internet.
When I posted about this on Facebook, people were like, "Well, there's nobody indoctrinating kids."
yes, they are.
A quick internet search of how many teachers have had to have their pride flags pulled from their classrooms
Yeah.
might give you an idea of how much this is actually happening.
Right.
Right? So imagine a 7-year-old. When they see that flag, they're going to ask you about it. They're kids. It's what they do.
yeah.
So do you think when that teacher goes, "Oh, that's a symbol for the LGBT community," that kid's just going to go, "Oh, okay," and just move on? No, he's going to have 20 questions.
Yeah.
Like they
What's
have 20
LGBT?
Like they have 20 questions about everything.
About fucking Legos and shit.
So what ends up happening is there's an in-depth conversation about what that flag means. Right? So now you're literally telling people about your sexual identity, gender theories, what you do at home. Do you think when a heterosexual teacher sees that happening, they don't try to overcorrect?
Yeah.
Of course they do. Of course they do. So now you were literally having a tug of war over the sexuality of an elementary school child. And if you don't have a problem, or if you don't see a problem with that, we have a fundamental disagreement as human beings. And that's what the bill is about. The bill doesn't say don't teach gay theories, don't teach gay sexuality.
Right.
Don't teach sexuality, period. Period. A teacher's job is to teach a kid how to think, not what to think.
Right.
So, but do we come at it with the same energy when Mrs. Krabappel says that her and her husband are going on vacation and they're like, okay, well, what's a husband?
Why do you have to say the husband?
But I'm saying,
Hey, I'm going on vacation.
but I'm saying, like, do we approach Mrs. Krabappel with the same energy?
100%.
Okay.
Because it's not about which sexuality you are. That's not the point. The point is the sexuality. Like, why are we trying to sexualize kids? So you have that shit going down in Florida, and now Tennessee just, I don't know if they've already passed it or they're trying to pass a bill where they're trying to remove the age of consent for marriage.
Yes.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
What the fuck?
Like,
Because it's what they're doing is they're trying to make common law marriages a thing, as in, if you live with someone
So, in
a long
other
enough
words, they're
time.
trying to make the state doesn't want to recognize gay marriages, so they're trying to let
Yeah.
common law marriage
I heard,
be
yeah.
a
Be-
thing.
So
But they
why-
remove the age limit
why the age
from
limit?
it.
That's
Why the age limit?
blows my fucking mind.
Why,
Right there.
why this sexual, for lack of a better term, assault on children from
Right.
both sides? Like, it's
Yeah.
coming from both sides. And the Tennessee bill, they just didn't have the balls to come out and say, we don't like gay marriage. Because,
Exactly.
fuck you.
'Cause that's
too.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Gay people should be able to get married. Why the fuck?
why not?
Why not? Yeah.
In 2020, you really think that there's any sanctity to marriage?
Well, I mean,
True.
You got a point.
our last president had
Yeah,
three of them, so I mean, he's
The
doing pretty
divorce
good.
rate is what?
60%.
60%?
Yep.
And out of the 40% that are still married, percentage of one of them cheating on the other? There is no more sanctity in marriage, right? For whatever you thought you wanted to get married for, whatever you thought you wanted to get married for, whatever the gay man thinks he wants to get married for, that's the reason. That's the reason. And because he's a guy that wants to marry another guy, or she's a girl that wants to marry another girl, for some reason that's not okay? Why? Is it Bible shit? Are we still spouting shit from a 2,000-year-old
Pretty
fairy tale?
much.
I don't get it.
Pretty much.
We're worried about a 2,000-year-old zombie.
Like, I heard this idea of this all comes from self-governance, right?
Right.
So before federal government, before state government, before all that, we had to have a sort of self-governance, right? So it's to perpetuate the best living situation for offspring,
Right.
right? So
Right.
2 men together is fine. 2 women together is fine. But 2 men together can't provide everything that a wife brings to the table.
Right.
2 women can't provide everything that a husband brings to the table. There needs to be both sides of the equation to
For the
really,
best outcome.
Yes.
The optimal
And
outcome.
We asked why people are so bitches now. Is because how many guys are being raised by single moms?
Facts.
Not saying that single moms aren't doing their best.
They're doing their best.
literally breaking their backs.
Yes.
For this shit, working their asses off. But what does she know about being a man? Whatever she knows about being a man was originally taught to her by her father.
Her father.
Or some sort of father figure. So if he doesn't have that father figure there, you're being raised by a woman.
Right.
Not saying that's a bad thing. It's just different.
Yeah.
The male that's raised by a single mother is going to turn out different than a male raised by his mother and father or just his father.
Right.
Right? So if he's raised by just his father, he's probably going to come out pretty toxic masculinity guy, right? Because he doesn't have that feminine side.
And vice versa with a father and a daughter.
Yes, there's a balance that needs to. So that's where a lot of this shit comes from. That's where the government came up with this idea of marriage is between a man and a woman. It's to perpetuate the best situation for a child.
Right.
But again, it's 2020. You know what I mean? For the Conservative Party to be the party that's pro-life and all
Pro-birth.
about the sanctity of kids,
Yeah.
you're going to turn down the adoption of a child to 2 gay parents because you don't like what they do in their bed?
You'd rather them sit in the adoption system?
I say fuck you. Fuck you. There's nothing wrong with a man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman.
Right.
They're going to figure it out. The child's not going to be fucked. You know what I mean? I don't. Why the control?
Well,
I think a lot of times, especially, it's kind of like if you can't have like if you really want a Whataburger sourdough, you know what I mean, or like a patty melt, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's the pinnacle is Whataburger. Why are all my analogies?
that's why I'm laughing over here.
That
So,
motherfucker.
it's always with foods. I'm like, why is he going with
Right,
food?
but anyway,
You know,
okay.
we're all over here thinking like, damn.
Yeah, that sounds good as shit. But anyway, okay, like if that's like the best, you know what I mean? And if you can't, for whatever reason, get that, don't just starve.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of times happens with conservative opinions is they're just like, okay, the optimal is a male and a female raising a child together in a relationship. Like that's optimal. And if we can't have that, everything else, we might as well let that kid just starve and let those 2 people, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, okay, it's optimal, but the chances of two men who decide to adopt a child, the chances of that child end up being fucked up isn't that much lower than, you know what I mean? What if you got, bro, I know you've seen 2 people who should not have kids.
And we all know somebody. We'd be like,
You see what I'm saying?
There's a long
like
list.
it's like,
All right. So,
there's a story.
so here's a, like I said, if new information comes in, I'm the type of person that will change his mind.
right.
My aspect on children has always been not everybody should be able to have a child.
Right.
That is the.
Man, that's a fact.
That's a fact. I
Some
agree.
people aren't meant for it. Some people aren't financially stable for it. Some people aren't mentally stable for it.
Right.
So I have to have a license to drive a car. I have to have a license to fish. I have to have a license to do a lot of things. But any asshole can have a kid What?
And be responsible for that kid?
What?
Yeah.
What? And not only they can have as many as they want.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So my policy was always, you should have to get a license to have a child. You should be able to prove that you are stable enough to have a child. And then I thought to myself, who the fuck's going to give the license?
Oh, shit.
Is it the left who can't define what a woman is? Although we're supposed to be fucking proud that Ketanji Brown is a black woman who made it to the Supreme Court, but can't define what a woman is? Is it going to be the conservatives who are literally trying to marry and fuck them? Like, who's giving out the license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're just back to the horrible idea of just letting every fucking Walmart person have as many fucking kids as they can.
I like how you phrased it. Walmart people.
We are full of useless fucking human beings. Please stop.
And everybody's pointing the finger at each
So
other.
you're saying
Because they're saying right now that we are on an all-time low of having children, reproducing. We're at an all-time low.
yeah.
They're actually saying right now, as we live right now, this might be the time in human history that the most human beings are on this planet. Because what's happening is the next generation's having less kids. So now there's less kids to have kids. So it's eventually going to be a trend down. So we're living at a time right now where the most human beings are ever going to live on this planet.
Right.
All right. So I don't understand. It's not NASA scientists having children.
no, not at all.
No, it's not.
They
NASA.
might have one.
It's Bertha and Jethro
It's
having
idiocracy.
their 7 fucking kids so that their welfare checks.
I feel
don't fucking
offended.
stop.
Hey, but it's idiocracy.
I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Like, this is like what we talked about earlier. The older I get, the less I'm just willing to put up with just bullshit.
Like another
Blatant
one.
Blatant
Yeah.
bullshit.
Another one. We were talking about toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Like, because people, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Because I got called that before. And she goes, "Oh, you're a toxic. You're a toxic masculinity." I'm like, how? And then besides, you're a woman. Why would you tell me how to be masculine?
Masculinity in and of itself is not toxic.
Right.
People are toxic.
Facts.
How you use the masculinity.
Say
It's
it louder for the
toxic.
bitches in the back.
But in our society, people generalize, like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
If I disagree with one part of the trans thing, I'm against the entire trans community, and I'm not. Right?
Right.
So it's this blanket statement that all men are toxic.
Right.
Right? So now there's been this huge war against masculinity.
Right.
And now you're starting to see feminine males. A lot of them. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Right? And, that can go back to single motherhood,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
There's a lot of factors
you're
involved.
you're growing up in a society that calls you toxic because you're quote unquote a manly man.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is like we just talked about, like people are having less sex and people are having less children. Leftists and feminists and all these people wanted men to be more feminine, and now they won't even fuck the creatures they created.
Yeah.
What happened?
What
What happened?
It's the
But then you get a guy like Will Smith who walks up on stage and slaps another guy. 56% of women the day after that, it may have gone down now, but 56% of women the day after the Oscars agreed with what he did.
Yep.
So you're telling me women want feminine, non-masculine men? Fuck you.
Yeah.
They don't. Zelensky, the dude in Ukraine.
Yes.
Russia invaded and he basically threw up the fuck you, don't send me a ride, I need bullets.
Yeah.
And all you heard of for the next week is why your woman has a secret crush on Zelensky. Why
Yeah.
your woman wants to bang Zelensky. Because he's a fucking man.
Yeah.
He's a man. And when somebody else tried to check him, he went, fuck you. And from what I understand, he's doing a pretty goddamn good job.
Yeah.
So this idea of toxic masculinity is fucking stupid.
Exactly.
See, I always find it funny that they'll call a manly man toxic. He's a toxic, masculine male. But when the shit hits the fan,
That's what we're gonna call.
that's the asshole you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same one who is willing to put his life on the line for shit he believes in. When the fire comes and it's women and children first, that's the guy that screams at. Because guess what? As a feminist, everyone is equal. Ain't no women and children first. If I beat you through that door, guess what? Hey, men and women are equal, right? All right, I got the kid. Don't worry. As a matter of fact, I'm faster because of my physiology. It's actually better for me to grab the kid and you stay.
And that goes back to that.
But I'm the asshole, though.
That slippery slope of biology doesn't matter and there's no difference between men and women.
No,
Okay.
that's bullshit.
Okay, so what is that?
Tell a firefighter that.
So no more misogyny, no more sexism, there's no more gender pay gap if men and women aren't different.
Yeah.
If men and women are the same, there's no biological difference. We just solved 3 major problems right there.
Exactly.
No more misogyny, no more sexism, no more gender pay gap. Fantastic.
Done. No
more fucking degree from Ivy League schools for women's studies. That's gone.
Yeah.
Now your degree's fucking useless. Like,
Nobody. Yeah.
people don't look at the long game.
Yep.
It's all about what satisfies me now.
It's all selfishness at the end of the day.
And I would rather virtue signal because I want people to think I'm a nice person
Yeah.
than see what is happening. See the negative changes that seem positive now because of the way we see the world or certain people see the world. And you're not recognizing what it's going to do 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line. You know, a generation of demasculated participation trophy men.
Well, that's
In
exactly
15
what it
years,
is.
that's the guy
Yeah.
You gonna send a war?
that's the guy you're going to trust to protect you as a woman?
Yeah.
That guy?
We tried, guys. We
That
tried.
guy?
Yep. Hey, where's my There's no participation trophies in war that I knew
And the
about.
thing
Are there?
is, it's gone so far one direction that something like the Will Smith incident, which is full-blown unnecessary assault,
Yeah.
seems manly to people. There's nothing manly about what fucking Will Smith did.
Fuck.
Nah, I think you went the
No,
bitch way.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Nothing. That guy's a bitch.
Yep. I
What
said
he
that.
did.
Uh-huh.
Okay, again, this is in the perspective of this one incident. I
One
understand
incident, yep.
Will Smith is going through shit. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in that relationship that if we want to talk about, we can. But I'm
Oh, yeah,
talking
let's
about
talk.
this incident in particular.
Okay.
Right? I made the joke on Facebook that if that had been Joe Rogan telling that joke,
He wouldn't do it.
Will Smith stays in his fucking seat. You know, Austin Alspina, whoever the dude Jada was fucking.
Hey, August
Alsina.
Alsina?
You seen that guy?
Yeah.
Buff, young, stud.
Yeah.
You didn't slap that motherfucker. Why, Will? Might beat the shit out of you? Yeah. You kept your stupid ass sitting down. But a man 4 inches shorter than you,
Yeah.
60 pounds lighter than you,
That tells jokes for a living.
that made a joke.
Yeah.
A joke.
She doesn't have cancer. She's not dying.
You got up, put a pin in that alopecia shit, because I want to go back to that too.
I am.
Got up and slapped a man because of it.
Right.
Where I come from, that's coward shit.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
slap a
coward
dude.
shit.
Well, you're old school, my guy.
Well, and the thing is, I was raised, my dad always said, never start a fight. Don't be the guy that starts it.
Finish it.
Be the guy that finishes it. Right?
You're damn right.
So, if I'm going to get physical, there needs to be a legit threat. A legit threat. You know, I've told everybody, you can say whatever you want to. You can say whatever you want about my wife. Because we are grown-ups. We realize that sounds you make with your mouth don't hurt my feelings. I'm a grown-up.
Yeah.
You can't
Sorry.
talk about women no more.
You know what I mean?
But you try to do something to her, and I will put you in the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Where you fucking stand. Right? Real men know there is a code to violence.
Yep.
Sir?
There is a code to violence. If you've ever been in a martial arts class, if you've ever taken any sort of fighting or self-defense, or if you were raised correctly,
or if you've ever actually been in a, one of my favorite quotes, I can't even remember the guy was, if you've ever been in a real fight, you wouldn't be so quick to get into one.
100%. Yeah, there's a code to this shit. And slapping somebody who's smaller than you is not part of that code. That's bitch-made shit. It's bitch-made shit. And, you know, now they're talking about taking away his Oscar, and I think they banned him from the Academy.
They had banned him from Academy, but he quit.
Before you could,
We have to learn, and this goes back to cancel culture, you have to learn to separate the art from the artist.
I think so.
He won his
100%.
Oscar for acting,
Yep.
not impulse control. Like, why are you going after him for that?
right,
Why are you going? I understand he broke Academy Award rules or whatever.
right.
But the motherfucker's an actor.
Yeah,
He's fucking good at
he's
it.
damn good at it.
I mean, he
That
was,
has
he was
nothing
really
to
good
do-
in King
That
Richard.
has nothing to do with what he did on stage. So this, like, people are offended. I get it. But because you're offended doesn't mean there has to be a reaction.
Right.
Sorry. He apologized. And if Chris Rock, the guy who slapped him, thinks that the apology was genuine and he accepts it, case is closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted there to be repercussions for what he did, you should have thrown him in jail. Like a regular fucking person.
Yep.
That is the response to what he did on stage.
Right.
Because if that would have me that went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock,
100%.
I'd be in jail.
100%.
Ain't no forgiveness there.
Exactly.
All right, Chad. You're winning your first Oscar. Nikki's there. Chris Rock makes a jump. Offends your wife. What do you do?
Well, there's all kinds of things you can do. Again, it's one of those.
Are you going up on stage to smack the shit out of him?
No, I'm not
What's
slapping
what's the move then?
Okay, see,
What's the
this-
Chad move?
This is my main problem with cancel culture words.
Right.
Intent matters. It matters, right?
Right.
The N word.
Yeah.
Okay? Intent matters. The whole Joe Rogan
100%.
situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I sit here and say this
Yeah.
needs to go to hell, that's a different intent than saying, hey, you know, Rashad's man.
Yeah.
Intent matters. There's an intent to what I say.
Right.
And the intent and context in which Chris Rock told that joke was at the Oscars, where his job is to make jokes and make fun of people.
Right.
Where's the intent? Where's the malicious intent? Where's the threat of violence? Where is the thing that made violence okay?
Right.
Where's the thing that justified violence? Right? You know, these people, a lot of people from the left came out and they were like, oh, he was right. He should have did what he did. Okay, so you're okay with unjustified violence.
Yep.
Okay? You're the party of, I'm okay being fat. Fitness is fascism.
Yeah.
You guys are okay with unjustified violence?
Yeah.
What the fuck happens when people start slapping you in the fucking face?
There you go.
You've never been in a self-defense class in your life. You don't know how to take care of yourself. You are the people that are going to come out and say unjustified violence is okay?
Yeah.
Sure you want to press that button?
What matters now? Not in the long term. People aren't thinking long term. If we just say, okay, if you say words, we get to slap you. Every one of you leftist people that show up at one of these universities and are screaming at those people,
About to get
calling them
knocked the fuck
racist
out.
and fascist, he can walk up and slap you now. You okay with that?
Yeah.
No, you're
Let's
not.
keep that same energy.
Because when he slaps you, you're going to be the first one to cry.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to want to run to the police,
Oh my God,
which you
assault.
wanted to defund, by
Yeah.
the way. You fucking idiot.
Oh, we definitely gotta get it. Oh. Hey, Kayla said, I don't think I've seen Chad in 15 years. Glad you're doing well.
Kayla, what's the last name?
Davis?
Kyle
No.
Davis.
Wait, Kyle, I'm sorry.
Not reading, motherfucker.
No,
Kyle, what's
right?
up, dude?
That's because
Kyle
everything is,
Davis.
I'm seeing everything blurry, that's why.
Yeah. Kyle's
Time to get glasses?
Yeah.
Because you're old now.
I know.
Are
Congratulations.
we canceled yet?
No, not yet.
No?
We still got a couple more things. Let's offend some more people.
Okay, let's go.
All right,
Who do you want to offend now?
People I love to offend.
Cops.
Caps.
Cops?
Yeah, you
Cops.
said defund.
Defund the police.
But yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
get into that.
What about it?
So you don't think we should defund the police?
Absolutely not.
So 80% of a city's budget going to police? Cool.
100%.
Okay. Do you think they're spending
Why?
that shit wrong?
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
Now we're at the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple cops in my family. I've had 2 uncles that are cops. I had a cousin that was a cop. My older brother wanted to be a cop. Right. So cops run in our family.
That's why I always feel uncomfortable around you.
Yeah. So, and even California. So they defunded their police department $183 million. And guess what happened?
What?
Crime shot.
Crime
up.
shot through the fucking roof. Shocker!
Right?
Oh my God!
California always does everything wrong.
To the point where Joe Biden just refunded them $215 billion.
Nice.
Million.
Yeah, well, he wasn't down with the defund the police anyway. All right, so I have a theory. Okay, I have a theory that we shouldn't defund the police. I think we should transform where that money's going. Because right now the police have military hardware and they're doing shit that I'm just like, bro, like I don't need because here's the problem. You got the guy who he's working a triple-double. He's responded to 2 suicide attempts. He just responded to a domestic violence. And now there's a pool party down the street with some just punk kids. And that's the same guy that's responding. So he's high fucking octane. You know what I mean? He's also the same guy that's responding to like
The car crashes
and shit like that. I'm just like, But at the same time, we've got 80% of the city's budget going to military hardware that's just sitting in the warehouse. And he's working a fucking triple-double.
They got that tank in the back.
Exactly.
So, okay.
So I think they need to demilitarize the police.
I am 100% behind you on that. In Afghanistan, there was literally thousands of military vehicles that just sat there. Didn't do shit. Because when they talk about, we left Afghanistan, we left all that shit there, that shit never moved the entire 14 months I was there.
Really?
We're just paying companies like Halliburton to build this shit. Just so that those motherfuckers can stay rich. It flies over to Afghanistan and it fucking sits there. The ones that do make it back, they're already paid for. The military don't need them.
So the police get
What do you do with it? You give it to the police. It's already paid for. Halliburton's already got their money. So why don't we... So this is the funniest thing I see, and this is, sorry for the police. When a police fucking MRAP shows up, which is like that mini fucking tank on the big wheels.
Yeah.
And 37 dudes jump out in full body armor with just the word police behind it. I laugh my fucking ass off. Because if the back of your shirt does not say SWAT, turn your fucking shit in. Turn your shit in. We're going to take your shit, we're going to sell it. We're going to take your fucking MRAP, and if SWAT team already has one, we're going to fucking sell it. And we're going to use those millions and millions of dollars that we got from the shit that you didn't need in the first place to hire more cops. To pay the ones that we have more money. So they're more invested in what they do for a living. We're going to pay for more training. You should have yearly training. 100%. We're going to pay for jiu-jitsu classes for police officers so they know how to handle themselves. The problem is when Officer Joe Blow, who's 40 pounds overweight, shows up to a fucking call, has no idea how to handle himself, something pops off,
he's gonna go for the gun.
Of course he's going to shoot someone. He has no other fucking option. He can't fight. If he throws 3 punches, he's going to pass the fuck out. You know what I mean? So imagine if every cop that showed up had confidence that he can handle himself, knew he was in good enough shape to handle himself. Do you think he's pulling his gun out and shooting motherfuckers?
Nah, he's going to take him down.
No. Because I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a jiu-jitsu class. What happens is you're constantly under attack. All the time. Because Jiu-jitsu is one of those martial arts where you can go full out. Boxing, you can't spar full out.
Right.
Any sort of stand-up, you can't go full out. So you're not really getting like that full out feeling.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu goes full out all the time, right? So what happens when you're in that constant elevated stress situation, you start to be able to control your heart rate. You start to be able to think better in high stress situations.
Right.
Right? So now you're going into a high stress situation. You're confident that you can handle yourself. You're confident about the shape you're in, and you're confident knowing that if some shit pops off, I'm going to be able to control my heart rate. I'm going to be able to think in this situation.
Right.
That's where we need to be spending the money.
Yep.
You don't take the money away from them. Because when you do, crime skyrockets.
Yeah.
Shocker. Less police, more criminals. Weird. It's almost like it's basic math.
Well, see, I don't think the police should have SWAT at all, because the shit
No,
that
there's a need for SWAT.
okay,
100%.
okay, but
But
is
the thing was, SWAT used to sit around and do nothing.
but here's the
Hostage
thing,
situations, shit like rare shit that ever
yeah.
happened.
But is there something that SWAT handles that the military can't handle?
I mean, but you don't have the military
Yeah,
ready
well,
on
you're
hand.
also
Yes, you do.
You don't want the military handling
Because they're just going to...
local shit.
Yeah.
That's martial law. You don't want that.
Know the difference,
You
bro.
don't want that. The
So
No,
That's necessary.
I kind of do, because like that threat of like, okay, if you do this kind of shit that's going to require SWAT, it's not going to be your local policeman. It's going to be the fucking military.
But that's martial law. That's
I'm okay with that.
I am not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how countries get taken over. That's how dictatorships start.
Yeah.
When the leader of the
But we
country,
had one like 2 years ago. It
when
was
the leader
fine.
of the country, that guy tweeted. That's all the fuck he could do.
Had them Twitter fingers.
Yeah. He tweeted 300 times a day and he sprayed his face with something orange. That's all like, that's how dictators start. That's
feel you.
how people who have the capability of taking over a country, their own country, with their military.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing.
Okay, I feel you.
Not a good thing.
Well, as time has come, we got to wind down.
No, it hasn't.
I know I don't want to. Yeah, this is so good, man. Chad, thank you so much for coming, bro. Do you have where people can reach you at, or do you want people to reach you?
No.
See, I'm not the only one that says that shit.
My guy, if you're on my Facebook and you want to have conversations about things,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it, man. I like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like being open to other people's opinions. Because I'm gonna see things the way I see things.
Right.
I'm not gonna see things the way you see things.
And that's the beauty of it, that we
Yeah.
can both like.
And if you can articulate that to me,
There you go.
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Change my mind.
If not, move on with your business. We're still brothers at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, no hard feelings to anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody I've ever gotten into an argument with or a debate with online, there's no hard feelings when we're done.
Well, the old Chad would have punched him in the face, the one I know, but
Yeah, he was a good guy.
I don't know. I kind of miss that guy.
I don't.
But with that being said, P.O., any last words, my guy?
Not really, man. Just y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe. Don't be pieces of shit to each other. Be nice.
What about you, my brother?
Thank you again, Chad, for coming through. Killed it. Thank you to
Bro.
my brothers.
Thank you so much.
You guys killed it. Thank you to our audience.
Thank you.
That we got there. Nikki,
Thank
Jenny
you.
from the block, Gary on the ones and twos. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who was listening. Tell me what you think about this hat. You know, prototype merch. You know, it's on the way. I know I keep saying that merch is on the way, but merch is coming on the way. All right. Hit us up on the Canceled Show Cash App, because I ain't trying to work that much. But
We fucking dying out here, sweating and shit.
so much fun. Check out our YouTube, Spotify, stuff like that. Thank you again. What you got, bro?
Nothing that. Chad, you're welcome anytime, bro. Peace.
I had fun.
Don't be a dick.
Oh, yeah, that is always this.
Try to be best, cause you're only a man, and a man's got to learn